United Supermarkets is making an unusual donation to the Salvation Army, but one that could be the most appreciated. The United family is providing 1,000 pairs of socks to those who need them as part of the Apples and Pears on a Mission program. Throughout the fall and winter months of last year, a portion of the proceeds from purchasing Rainier fruit, pears, and apples went to supporting local organizations. Major Jamie Clay, a Corps officer with the Salvation Army, said socks are the most requested item year after year, but often one of the least donated.
Anytime when we have local community support with our other companies or businesses and even other nonprofits, it just shows that the community is helping the community. So it's neighbors helping neighbors, and we love being a part of that product.
And now this donation on the South Plains is just one of 6 taking place across the state. In all, Rainier Fruits and the United family together will donate 5,000 pairs of socks.